I thought it would be really fun to visit with all of us about who opened the door when we first came.
Yeah.
What an incredible staff that 5 of our staff were here as residents. So yeah, I remember when I first came, I knocked on the door, Patty Jennings opened it, and she remembers the first time I came, evidently I brought a donation. So I think I was just spying on the place. I was looking. Second time I came back was to look at the office, because when I got the job, I had never even been in here. So Patty and Lily Sullivan were really my introductions to here, because it was Lily who answered the phone when I called. And I remember thinking, wow, if those people are all that nice, that's where I want to be. So here I am. So Patty opened the door for me. Who opened the door for you, Patty?
The house manager opened the door, and I just remember it being so peaceful and calm. And that's what I remember, because that's what I needed at that time.
I hear that a lot. When people come through the pink door, that's what so many, and I don't think it was pink then, but it still was peaceful.
I came in with a 6-year-old and 2 toddlers. All I know is that it was the house manager, and her name was Limpy. And she opened the door, and I was scared, of course. And she was very kind, and so they took me in.
Wow. So back then, all we had was this building.
It was just a shelter. That's where
really?
Yeah. And we had to hang out our clothes in a clothesline. Old fashioned.
That clothesline was there for a long time. We should do that again.
The first time I came here was in 1999. It was Joyce Clay. She did my intake. I lasted 3 days. And I told Jerry I was going back. I was came out of a bad relationship, and I told Jerry after 3 days, I'm going back. And she said, I think you're making a big mistake, but it was nice meeting you. See you later. She had a look in her eye. She will be back. And I was back.
Wow.
6 months later. In 2000, I went through the garden, and Rosalina greeted me at the car. And I remember Rosalina bringing me in here in the crisis, and she just had a peaceful spirit, very calm, very peaceful. My life was a wreck. I was in shambles. My spirit was broken. And I remember just thinking, I want that. I want what this lady has.
Well, who opened the door was Jill Janelle. I think she was shift changing because Nora did my intake.
Yeah.
So they must have been shift changing.
I didn't know I
But
opened
Nora
the door for
opened Jill Janelle opened the door. We had the couch. I just sat down and was kind of just observing everything. And as Patty said, you get a breath of just peace. My mind stopped racing, and I said, I'm done running. I just love the fellowship. I seen how the staff was, and I see how the staff talked to the residents. That would make me feel like, oh my God, this is not just a shelter. When there's no just rooms of cots everywhere, it's a home. So I love that. That's what I was happy for. I thought like, wow, these 2 women are putting their self aside for me. And I was like, I want to do the same thing. I want to give that back to another person. So I remember I typed up my resume, and it was before I graduated. I went to you and I said, well, here's my resume. I don't know when I'll be back, but here you go. Keep it in the drawer.
And I did. I was obedient.
So I knew I wanted to, give back what you guys gave back to me. So I want to do that.
I initially came to Evangel Home in 1993, sometime during the summer months. Patty opened the door for me. And after interviewing with Patty, she kept me. But I, like Joe Janelle at that time, was not ready. And so I was here a little while though, but eventually I would return back to the world. And it wasn't until 2000 that Patty opened the door again for me, this time verbally first by saying yes to me when I was incarcerated. And when I saw Patty on the other side of that glass while I'm signing this citation and saying, you're getting out on the terms that you finish the program. Otherwise, you'd spend 3 years in prison if I didn't complete it. And I was like, oh, I got no problem with that. I was so happy to see Patty. I was screaming. The glass she couldn't hear me, but I came out there, hi, Patty! Waving, and she's signing papers and whatnot. And I'm like, just waving at her. And the guy's going, step over here and give me your bracelet. I got my hand in the air, and then she sees me and she goes,
Rosalind, it's such a godsend that you and I decided to get our life together at the
Yes.
same time.
Yeah, and it took a minute to let it sink in and resonate that this is where God wanted me.
Janelle, you said something that really made me think of something that is one of my, not just a memory, but I think kind of part of my life, as much of what we do is, when you talk about Rosalina and the peace that she brought to you. And I was thinking that's one of the ways we really have supported each other, is the way we have all supported Rosalina while she's been away for a while.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, as I did every graduation, there's no place I would rather be at that moment than at a graduation listening to Rosalina sing her signature song.
If you could see where Jesus brought me from to where I am today, then you would know the reason why I love him so. You can't take this world, its wealth, its riches. Oh, I don't need earth power. It's my desire to be like him. If you could see where Jesus brought me from to where I am today, then you would know the reason why I love him so. You can't take this world, its wealth, its riches. Oh, I don't need earth power. It's my desire. It's my desire. It's my desire to be just